Hey everyone, I hope that you're having an incredible day. And I'm doing an Instagram video and a Facebook video at the exact same time. So I'm excited to be doing all platforms at once because I see other people doing it and I'm going to start doing it. So I'm going to be talking about, like the title says, my California adventure so far and how incredible it's been and how I'm grateful for so many things along this incredible journey, especially because I could have not done this journey. Like before March, I was having like a ton of junk in my head and my fears were coming up and my gremlins were coming up around all the things and what I should be doing and all this stuff. And I almost didn't go to UPW and didn't commit to this like 3 week adventure in California, and I'm so grateful that I did. And I've just been like living in such like a beautiful state of gratitude for saying yes to myself and for committing to doing all these things and having all these incredible experiences. So I'm super, super grateful. And literally, I just pulled an animal card at the Airbnb that I'm at, and it was all about gratitude. And like message was like, share this gratitude. Like you keep feeling called to share it. And I almost don't want to like share it because like that like old gremlin of like you don't want to like brag or say that your life's too fucking awesome, but like I've always looked up to mentors who talk about incredible things that they've manifested and co-created, and it was always super inspiring for me. So I need to like step up fully and be like, yes, I can share all of these incredible things that have happened publicly to all the people and not just like celebrate them with my friends and with myself, because they're incredible and because everyone can have it. Especially if you're like watching this and you're in my vibration, you can definitely have every single desire and dream that's on your heart. And like, don't worry about the how. Just know that because it's your dream and your desire, you're totally going to get it. So I'm super, super, super excited to share all this with you and for everyone popping on live. Hi, Bonnie and Yuti and Nadia. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Welcome to California. This is my home. Wonderful. I love that, Bonnie. Very cool. It's amazing. Like, even though it's kind of like chilly, I like that. And it even like rained today at the farmer's market, and I was kind of surprised. But I'm like, oh, this reminds me of home. And like everyone was super like smiley and friendly and and made eye contact and said hello to everyone. I'm like, oh, I feel right at home. Like like the farmer's market's like a little bit of Canada, a little bit of home, all the love and all the like awesome energy and high vibes and amazing food and all the stuff. So this week has been, or this week plus has been incredible and like a whirlwind, and I'm just super grateful. So I'm gonna like just kind of share my incredible experience and journey. And it didn't start off as like super ideally as I wanted it to. Like I totally in my head wanted to get like 8 hours sleep and stay really like awesome because in Tony time and in this world, I don't get a lot of sleep during events. And I was really focused on staying healthy and not getting sick, which, yay, I did it. I stayed super healthy and awesome and didn't lose my voice. And I screamed. I screamed not only when everyone else was screaming and getting up and down and jumping, but any other like little opportunity where I could like woo and scream and holler and stuff. I totally took those, and I used lozenges and essential oils and all the things. And I stayed healthy, immune system boosting, and all kinds of vitamins and supplements, and I stayed healthy, which I'm super, super grateful for. So, like, the packing for 3 weeks was an adventure, definitely, because I decided to get like checked luggage and then was like gonna have like more than like the maximum allowance and couldn't get everything to fit. So I was like in my head about that stuff before, and I was definitely at certain points of the process going up to it, like letting some of those gremlins win and be like, having to consciously do the work to like be like, I love myself, I deserve this, everything's going to work out for the highest and best good. And I'm so glad that I decided that everything is always working out for me and everything is always just so incredible and things are going to happen even better than I could ever imagine, because it's happened that way the entire way. Like when I got on my first flight, I was going to be at the very, very back with like no leg space, and the like stewardess was like, "Oh, you can go to this row. It has no one in it." So I got to like lay out and like sleep and enjoy like a bunch of naps on my travel day. And then I had amazing people in my first Airbnb, and it was like an incredible experience. It was gorgeous, and everyone was like crewing. So I actually got to like sleep in the next day, which was really nice because everyone else was like gone and like doing their stuff. But like the pre-event. So the first pre-event I went to was like the Date with Destiny reunion, which was like amazing and awesome. And on my way there, I was like hungry and kind of exhausted after a 13-hour travel day, and I like hadn't eaten a full meal since like breakfast. So it was like a long, long time because it was like night and I had the 4 hour time difference. So it was like a long time before I had another meal, and I saw a freshie that was across the street, and on the actual like stop sign where I was at, it said, "You are a goddess living in a city of angels." And I'm like, Hell fucking yes, I am. I'm a fucking joyful goddess. I deserve to be here, and this is exactly where I need to be. So I decided to go across the street to the Freshie and just like grab a smoothie on my way to my event because that'd be something quick that I could have and just like fill up a little bit and get food later. And I like was talking to the guy, I ordered my smoothie and was just kind of talking to the guy about my travel, about being and about how good all the food is. I just like couldn't go because I was going to another event. And the person behind the scenes just started making food, I guess, because she like her kind of subconscious programming is you hear people talk about food, so then you start making the food. And they were about to close. So she's like, I actually made this food and like we're about to close, so I'm gonna throw it away. Do you want it? And I'm like, yes. So I got free food and like broccoli and like healthy things that I could like eat at. And because I was saying that I was hungry, like they gave me like little samples of like their energy balls and like chia pudding that I was looking at that I was like kind of thinking, oh, I could probably like shovel that down really quick. And they were just giving me samples because they were like super sweet and awesome and amazing. So I manifested free food, which is also super awesome. Then connecting with everyone was just like so incredible at the Date with Destiny reunion and like all my soul fam there, and it was amazing. And then we went to the ULP event after, and that was super awesome. And it was interesting because at Date with Destiny, the pre-events, I was still kind of like introducing myself as like a happiness coaching healer because that still seemed more like safe, especially in the coaching world. But on like the brunch day of, so like a couple days before Date with Destiny, I was like, okay, I need to like stop calling myself a title that doesn't feel in alignment anymore and not give a fuck if it seems woo to call myself a joyful goddess, a speaker, healer, and coach. And I just kept introducing myself like that. And I met the most incredible women who were doing similar work or who got lit up by like self-care work and stuff like that and just like fucking loved that I call myself a goddess. And I'm like, it just kind of came through and they're like, I love that that came through for you and that that's your title. And it opened up like incredible conversations, especially around the sexual empowerment stuff that I've been doing. And I'm not like dulling my shine or like hiding that part of it anymore. And that felt so empowering to like say it out loud and to be seen and heard by like peers who were like going to this event. And the like healing stuff that I'm doing was super well received. So like all the like little old things that I used to like separate like all my different worlds from, those walls and like barriers have like diminished. And I'm just like so in love with the people in my life and everyone that I was meeting. And that was incredible. And what else did I do? I even like there was this like salsa dancing pre-event networking singles kind of mixer thing, and I did not properly estimate LA traffic. That is a real thing. And I showed up like I think almost an hour late, and I got like caught right up because the guy who was like right there had done salsa dancing, and it took him like 2 minutes or less to catch me up on the moves that they had done, and then the guys lead, and that was an incredible experience to like have a bunch of partners and like see how you can kind of flow with different partners. And, like the more a guy would lead, the more I could just like flow and not have to be in my head or figure out the steps, just kind of flow with it. That was so fun and so incredible. And for that to be an experience, because I'm like, yes, my only life that I'm living is with my ideal life partner and I like dancing regularly because that's fucking amazing. And like just so many beautiful things happened. GPW was absolutely incredible. I had awesome breakthroughs. Like this was my fifth Tony event. Like I've done UPW twice. I started in 2016, and then this is my fifth Tony event, second UPW, so my second firewalk, and I got so much from it. And sometimes people are like, especially if it's their first event, they're like, "Why are you doing it so many times?" But it's because you get entire new levels of insight and wisdom, and you're seeing it from like a different level of your life and a different lens and a different frame when you go through the events at different points in your life. And I had so much from the experience. Like even like the first exercise that we did is really interesting. And like I found my soul sister, like um Christina that you would have seen in like one of those first lives that I did. I was literally like just kind of walking around my section, my seating area and being like, this kind of feels good, this kind of feels good, and just kind of like walking and like went to the center and she like waved at me and I'm like, of course, like we have like a beacon or like some kind of magnetic thing that like brings us together, which is really cool. So that was super awesome that we got to like party hardcore, and all the hugs that I got and all the people that I saw and everyone crewing, just like so many like reunions and amazing love and connections. And like Tony Robbins fam is my soul fam. So that was super awesome. And hi Kim, hi Rachel. I hope you guys are having an awesome night. And this has just been like such a blessing. So the first experience even, it was before Tony asked us about like what our two biggest stressors are. And it was something about like, what's your ideal life or what do you need to show up as? And it was like, I'm here to show up as like full embodiment of like divine feminine energy and female leadership and that divine feminine flow and just like all these incredible pieces and parts of like embodying myself fully, shining my light fully, and like being the best version of myself in my life and also to the camera and also publicly, which is really cool. And I was like reading it to the partners after we had two partners. So I was reading it to the two people beside me, and it was amazing because one of the things I wasn't going to say out loud, and it was the thing that resonated most with her. So I was saying like I literally mostly channel write when I do stuff. Like I do automatic writing and I'm like clear cognizant. So for a fair amount of like these exercises, I kind of just write. And it was like, what do I need to do? How do I need to show up as? And it was like full embodiment, full expression, full divine feminine energy flow, full authentic self, full bush, like all this stuff was coming out. And when I said full bush, and I was really like hesitant to say that out loud in the like vulnerable shares, she's like, fuck yes, full bush. And that's like what resonated most with her. And I'm like, that's so interesting because Life and Wealth Mastery last summer, I like didn't want that. And like I went and got like bikini wax and legs waxed and I like underarm and all this stuff waxed because I didn't want to have to deal with body hair and I wanted like really good first impressions for everything. And this time I decided I wasn't going to get waxed, but I was definitely going to like trim and shave and do all the stuff. And like I didn't end up doing that. Like I kept putting it on my like to-do list for the day and then it kept getting bumped because I was like not getting everything I needed to get done for my like work and packing and life and all the stuff done beforehand. So it just kind of kept getting bumped. And like the partner that I'm with right now is awesome that I have a bush and I love that I have a bush and it feels really good with squirting and I like it that way the best. And that's just like my personal preference for where I'm at right now. So it was interesting because in my head I was like, well, I like got a shaver, so like I'll like take care of it when I get there. And she was like so in alignment with that. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna like go on the beaches of Santa Monica and California and Venice with like a full bush. I guess that's what I'm gonna do because I can't be a leader in this area and I'm showing that I love every part of my body, every hair on my body, every single aspect of me unconditionally as me and like wait for like it to become a common thing if that ever comes around or like whatever style or culture changes that I can't wait for like someone else to do it and like hundreds of other people to do it and then me still want to be in that like leader role which I feel really called to be in, which is really interesting. And hi Victoria, good morning. Yeah, it's interesting now that I'm on the like West Coast, like it's now 11:45 for me, so like I'm always a night owl wherever time zone I'm at, I guess. But yeah, it's actually way later on the East Coast right now, so good morning. So yeah, that was really awesome that like that kind of just like happened. And um then the next day on day two, so like I did the fire walk. The fire walk was awesome. I got a couple little like blisters on my feet and then did like Reiki and put essential oils and lavender and aloe vera on it and did a couple cycles of that before I went to bed. And it was amazing the next day. Like it was slightly tender, but I was able to like full out dance and play like massive action, jump up and down every single time. And it was amazing. Um, so yeah, that was really cool. Day two, I decided like next level leadership and embodiment and to be like the billionaire self that I'm here to be, to impact so many people, to have like incredible waves of change in the world, to invest incredibly in like building and creating mindfulness programs for like youth and children and everyone in between who needs it that can have like after school programs for free and like just like getting the tools into the hands of young people so they can like have it and not have the negative conditioning over their entire lives, that they know that they can love themselves, take good care of themselves and have a really positive mindset and have the skills and tools that they need at a young age to have a really amazing awesome life, which is really cool because then they can also like teach the people around them and maybe their parents or grandparents or just like embody those awesome things, and then other people see that light and have the waves of change and like the healing of the earth and the green initiatives that I want to do. Like I was like deciding like I need to do this, I need to step up for it, the world needs it now, I'm called to do it now, I'm ready for it now, like next level of like fuck yes, I'm here to like serve the world in a big, great, awesome fucking way. And I literally, after like we did that whole experience, the exercise, and wrote all that stuff down and committed to those things, I went to get my photo done in the booth for like firewalkers. And I kind of like looked at the woman in front of me, and she kind of looked at me, and she's like, Laura. And I'm like, yes. Like when you're like seeing people who you've seen on the internet and you're like trying to like piece together who they are in like real life. And it was cool because she was part of a group that we created after Date with Destiny around like the feminine mastermind. And she had wanted to do like this like boudoir photo shoot. And I had said like in the comments like my divine feminine heart says yes, and like my ego's being like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you gonna buy a one-way ticket? Like what are you doing in LA? Like all the things. So I was like kind of like not sure. And it was amazing that like I decided to embody next level feminine energy leadership, showing how I love my body and that other people can love their body, and like being in that energy. And then the universe literally in a room full of 15,000 people got us standing right side by side together. So we were chatting. She had brought all her stuff. So we ended up committing to doing a photo shoot, a boudoir photo shoot. And we actually were able to do that on um, day 4 in the morning. So that worked out beautifully. Yeah, like just so many, like I manifested a photo shoot. Like that's still something that like is like almost hard for my brain to process, but I'm getting way better at it to be like, yes, I desired it. I moved to inspired action. I said yes, I got it. I co-created magic with all of the people around me, create win-win situations with all the people around me, and it just fucking works because it does. That's how the universe works. Like I look up to incredible mentors and coaches and people in this world. And when I was in my 20s, like early 20s, I was looking up to like Shay Carl and the Shaytards and Philip DeFranco, and they lived in Venice Beach and Santa Monica and in California and LA and doing all these cool things. And I have Nicole Sylvester and Emily Utter that I look up to who are in California and stuff. And I've literally, like, when Nicole's had photo shoots, I've screen capped her like photo credits to be like, I desire amazing, awesome photographers. And even like kind of said to a friend, I'm like, we should like take like cell phone pictures of each other and like get good like photos for like high vibe energy and like share it with the world and stuff like that. So it was really, really cool that like just my energy of like, I desire it, it's in my reality, it's happening, like this or better. And I didn't, in my little human mind, imagine that that was going to be a boudoir photo shoot, but it ended up being that. And it was super awesome and empowering and like incredible. And I cannot wait to get those pictures back. I'm super, super excited. And hey, Kathy, I hope you're having an awesome day. And hi, Jerry. Yeah, so that was amazing and incredible experience. Like there were other things where like literally everything was super supportive, and like the people around me who were just so incredibly loving and who like believe in my mission and what I'm here to do, and so supportive and so helpful, and their guidance and love and everything. I'm just unbelievably blessed and grateful for, and it just kept showing up, and I feel ridiculously grateful in my life. And just the event was incredible. I had tons more breakthroughs, and I have like even more things that I have in my book that I need to like integrate. But I did like high like masculine energy of like jumping up and down and going crazy and all the things. Like so then I kind of have taken the past couple days and like being like resting and going with the flow and following my intuition and all those things, which is amazing and awesome because I still have my voice fully, which is awesome. I did not have that after Date with Destiny. Lost my voice completely after Date with Destiny. Also ran out of my oil on like the last day of Date with Destiny. So I always from now on will have like a 15 mil of thieves because it's a lifesaver. And I had that this time, and I had all my regiments of all my things, and it was amazing and beautiful. And I took time for all the self-care and made it a must every single day to take my vitamins and supplements and oils and all the things. And Kathy says, hello, Laura, you're beaming. Thank you so much, Kathy. You're so sweet. um, yeah, like there's so many things. Another thing that was an interesting thing was that I decided um, to go forward to not sit in general, to like sit in, what did I put? I think I put like VIP seating going forward or something like that, or like executive or diamond, or I did something. I like wrote it down. I will go back to that because this is a decision I made. I'm pretty sure I said VIP or diamond because there's different energy at different things. Like a lot of the general people were people who were first timers and who wouldn't necessarily like jump out and like go crazy to their seats every single time. So like me and my like soul friends who've done multiple events before, we were the ones kind of like being the ones initially doing that, and the group kind of would catch on. And some people were incredible and played full out, but it was just a different energy that I felt between this event, sitting in general, versus other events. So I made that decision, and it was interesting because um, they kind of try to fill in the gaps of seating. So I made the decision when I was technically sitting in executive, and then the next morning, I actually got put in executive to like fill up the spots. So I was like, fuck yes. I like decided that I wasn't going to sit in general anymore. And then literally the next day, I'm still like wearing my general lanyard and sitting in executive. And I'm like, fuck yes. And the two people who were beside me, they were like playing full out, and I was like right on the edge. I love sitting on the edge, and I only sit on the edge so I can like get out and jump up and down and dance in like the rows, which is amazing and awesome. And I totally just hit my flower. This is how amazing my Airbnb is. It has fresh, amazing smelling flowers. This is literally better than I could have imagined. Like always when you're manifesting stuff, say this or better, universe, because or better is fucking magical and it's unbelievably incredible. So yeah, like everything was amazing. Like the fucking hotel room that we were in was even so amazing for like all the different kind of shots that you wanted to explore and do, and that I had kind of like thought of and thought were really cool. And like it was just a beautiful experience. Like everything was just absolutely amazing. And I just like want to go on and on and on, but I will like because there's like so many big synchronicities and little ones, just like everything. But then I would talk to you for the next 24 hours about every little thing that happened over those the past what 10 days. So the event was absolutely incredible. Then the next day, oh yeah, and I went to the crew party, which was well the after party slash crew party, which is like on the rooftop, and like that was a really cool view of like LA downtown to like be on the rooftop, and it was gorgeous. And I was talking to my roommate. I'm like, there should be like beds. Like it'd be amazing if like we could just like lay down on beds. She's like, oh, this place has beds. She's like, I was there before like a couple years ago, and it has beds. And I'm like, this is amazing because like we were on our feet for 4 days, jumping up and down and being crazy. And my knee had a little bit of a thing going on, and I went to like the Goski booth, and they gave me like a little exercise, and it made it feel so much better. But still, being on your feet for 4 days, jumping up and down and being crazy, and celebrating and dancing was kind of a lot for the body. So I was even able to like lay on a bed and like chit chat with people and hang out, which was again even better than I could have ever imagined because laying down on a water bed on a rooftop in LA is pretty fun. And yeah, everything was amazing. When I checked out in my hotel, they have like little pods in the lobby that like you can work at, and it has like things that you can like charge your laptop and your cell phone with, and like there was no one there in the middle of the day. So I had some time to kill between checking out of my hotel and going to my next Airbnb. And I just like laptop lifestyle life and was just able to work in my little pod with like no one around, and awesome music came on, and I took like a story video. If you guys aren't watching my stories, I'm posting a lot of stuff in my stories about my adventure. I have more time to do that, but I'm enjoying and flowing and stuff. So stories are kind of like the first place that I put stuff, just FYI. And that was really fun. Really awesome songs came on, and I kept getting in state. And I'm like, this is my life. Like, this is my view right now. This like gorgeous area that's like not right in the lobby, but kind of like off to the side where it was like super quiet, and I got like a bunch of work done. And yeah, it was just phenomenal. And what else? Then the Airbnb was awesome, and I had an awesome call with all my soul sisters, and like my roommates here are fucking phenomenal, and just like the house is gorgeous, the colors are amazing, the energy is amazing. The stuff that I couldn't bring in my like checked and carry on and personal item, like the things that I couldn't fit in my like already kind of overflowing suitcases because I kind of like had a 50 pound checked. I like maxed it out. I was, yeah, when I decided I was going to get it checked, I like went all out and brought all the things. But like, I limited the amount of crystals, and like I saw my citrine and I'm like, oh, it'd be so nice to like bring my citrine too. But like I narrowed it down to like all my rose quartz and like some selenite. And like, look, at the Airbnb. Gorgeous, huge selenite. Love it. And there's like Tibet singing bowls and yoga mats and a chi machine and fresh flowers. And it's like such amazing good energy. And there's a squatty potty. Like everything that I could have ever imagined is like here. And like even like some of the brands that I use are like here in like the bathroom. Like in my head when I was like, oh, it's like my moisturizer gonna run out. It's like not only does the US sell it, it's also in my Airbnb right now because I was kind of freaking out a little bit before being like, are all of my like travel size things gonna like be enough? Am I gonna have enough? And it's like, yes, you're super supported, like just trust. And it's like, yes, they do make these things in the States. You're good. And not only that, there's better things in the States. Like Whole Foods is fucking amazing. And I've heard people talk about that. And I didn't know to the level and extent of how awesome Whole Foods was. And it's just like fucking phenomenal. And you can go there and you can like get a little like takeout thingy and get like little bits and pieces. Again, I put that on my story of like everything that you want to get. So I got like beets and broccoli and potatoes and chicken and asparagus and all the good healthy food. And it was like so amazing and nourishing and fulfilling, especially after like the 4 day event when you like don't want to leave the room and you eat like protein bars and baby food and like liquid. Basically like I usually bring juices and stuff like that or like smoothie pouches and some chips and crackers and stuff, just that I'm like in the room absorbing all the content as much as I can during the 4 days of awesomeness. Maybe just all the synchronicities and all the connections. And the lady who owns the Airbnb, like we got to meet her, and it's like a friend of the friend who's staying here, and we did like this incredible meditation, and like she's leading meditations as like a retreat and going to like the base of Mount Everest leading a retreat. And she's like, let's do a meditation and saged us off. And it was just like this most incredible experience. And she kept being like ground into Santa Monica. And it was so powerful for me because I literally could have chosen not to come here. Like I was so on the fence of doing this or just not doing the CPW and pushing it to like the next event. And literally I had like a whole conversation with my mom and she was like, are you going to regret not going? And I had to like be like, yeah, like my soul is 100% sure that I'm going to regret not going on this trip. And I'm so grateful that I said fuck yes. And then I kept saying yes to everything in my life because I've had such incredible experiences so far on the trip and it's not even over yet. And I just continue to like open up and expand for even more incredible things and trusting and knowing that everything's happening for me and that even more incredible things will continue to happen. And just like everything has been so incredible and I'm super grateful for absolutely everything. And like I've been getting puppy cuddles and like that's a huge blessing, like because I kind of miss my kitty. And like oh, Juniper's amazing. Again, check my stories. Oh, so sweet. Will let me pet her for as long as I want. She's an emotional support dog. Like she's like amazing. I love her so much. She's so 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 sweet. And hi Jed, hi John. Hope you guys are having an awesome night. And hi Jerry. I think I'm catching up with everyone because I'm on two things. I'm on Instagram and Facebook right now. So I'm being mindful of people popping on both. So this is very cool. Um, what else happened? I'm like, there's just so many things. Oh yeah, like there's animal cards here, like there's yoga mats, there's a hula hoop, and we did like dance party and hula hooping and stuff, and like have had like incredible times. Just like way better than I could have ever imagined. There's like wind chimes outside, like oh, being able to like start my morning routine outside and like put my feet on the earth and ground and just like be warm doing this. Like this is literally what I decided my life needed to be like last summer when I was in Florida. Because when I was on Marco Island doing Life and Wealth Mastery, I had an alarm because we wake up at different hours during Tony events. Most of the time, I've kind of created my life so that I don't need to have an alarm in the morning, which is nice. But I had my alarm. I used to be like between 5 and 10 snoozes in my old life. So like I woke up, turned my alarm off, went right out onto the patio in Marco Island at like 6 in the morning when it was warm in Florida, and saw the ocean and like did my priming, did my morning routine, and it like felt like home. It felt like what my life needs to be. And I'm like, okay, so I need to like live in a place where I can do that. And in the summer in Canada, I can do that and like go outside in the morning and do my stuff and read. And it was so amazing. And I was craving that. Like when I decided that I was going to be here for 3 weeks, I was talking to a friend who wasn't in this world. And she's like, oh, are you going to like go meet like famous people? Like, I hope you see a famous person. And like, what are you going to do? And like, had more that mentality. And I'm like, my intentions are like putting my feet in the grass, having a ton of breakthroughs at UPW, and like going to these incredible opportunities and like rejuvenating, soul nourishing, personal development, transformation things. That's my intention. So it's really cool the amount of things that I've had that have just lined up for that so far, and that even more awesomeness is going to continue to happen from that. And I'm so excited and so grateful. And yeah, there's just been like a million and two awesome, amazing, wonderful things. And like I feel like there's almost not words to like put to how grateful I feel and how loved and supported I feel and how amazing things have just flowed and gone. And it like still hasn't fully like integrated into my head that like I could have not done this. Like in February, I was thinking this might just not happen because of all the fears, limiting beliefs, and all the bullshit stories I was telling myself. And then for this to be like the first day of spring and International Happiness Day. So in 2017, that was the day that I got like laid off, like told that I was going to get laid off because of a restructuring in the transition company that I had decided to work with. So in 2015, when I got like really deep into this stuff, like was seeing coaches and healers and counselors and stuff like weekly and reading books weekly and like doing this stuff intensely. Like I've been doing personal development since before I was 20 and started my spiritual path and like yoga and stuff. I did that before I was 20, but then I got like really fucking deep and super committed. Like this is my path and this is my journey, and I'm here to do all this stuff for myself first and foremost, and then share it with the rest of the world and help the rest of the world be their best selves. Like I'm here to be the best version of myself, the most loving and like caring love being on this earth that I can be, and like help other people do the same because we can all be the change that we want to see in the world. And to literally like see all the places where saying yes changed my life, and I could have easily said no. It would have been easier to say no. It would have been more comfortable to say no, and it also would have been much more soul crushing, and in the long term would have made me miserable and most likely sick and have disease and not good things in my life. So in 2015, I decided I was like going to be a life coach and not be a coach in my 40s or 50s like I had originally planned. I was like, nope, I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to do it now. I've committed to myself. I got into Robin's Bananas training and was like, yep, this is my world. This is for me first and foremost. And then I'm here to serve the rest of the world with all these incredible breakthroughs and transformations and growth experiences that I've had, because I want to share everything that's just been so soul nourishing to me and so like unbelievably uplifting to my spirit to do. And yeah, I decided the transition company that I wanted to on New Year's Eve in 2015. In 2016, I applied and I got it and was there for a year and a couple months, and then they transitioned. And I could have taken steps back, and I looked at it and I was like, that's a no. Like I could have gone back into the accounting corporate world, and that was like a fuck no. And I knew that I had to take the big leap and do the happiness coach and healer title and role thing full time. And I opened 2 locations in 2 cities and like had that incredible experience. And then when I did Florida last summer, and it was like, you need to like close those down and do like laptop lifestyles and travel more and experience this life that you want to live and that you feel called to live. I could have said no to that. I could have like shut down and played small. And I keep saying yes. I keep growing and expanding. And you can do this exact same thing too. And you can have a life that's even more incredible and more blessed than you could have ever hoped for. That's why I really, really encourage you to set your intentions for this or better, because you don't want to limit it to like this. You don't want to be like, okay, universe, I want it to look exactly this and controlling. I used to be a very controlling person, like hated all risks, needed certainty. Certainty was my number one human need. For those of you who are at the Tony fam and understand that, like it was so important to me. And if those rules and belief systems and stories still ruled my life, I wouldn't be living this type of lifestyle or in this level of joy and bliss and gratitude of just like being here and experiencing everything around me in a house that literally like has blue and incredible colors and like this is my ideal life and I'm like living it and I'm like it's still fully integrating into me how unbelievably blessed I am and how incredible this whole experience has been so far and will continue to be. And Kathy says, wonderful. Um, you are following your dream, Laura. Thank you so much. I'm like so grateful and just felt really called to share that and then was gonna not share it because again, the gremlins in my head being like, you're like, that's kind of like a brag. And like, I don't want like people to, yeah, old stories of being smart or successful, the number one person in the class, and not wanting to like make other people feel less than. And that will never ever be my intention for ever sharing these videos. These videos are to share with you what I've gone through on my life, my journey, and that like I still have fear. Like I haven't figured out how to get rid of fear. Fear comes on the journey with you. You just don't let the fear decide things. You just get to be like, okay, I love you. Thank you for showing up and teaching me these lessons, and let's move through this and let's keep getting stronger and better here. And you can do these things too. And you can literally decide that you are the person and have an identity with the person who follows their dreams and their heart's desires and shows up for who you're meant to be in this world and the life that you're meant to live in this world, because you weren't given all these heart's desires by God, creator, source energy of the universe, to feel disappointed or resentful or to get to the end of your life and have a fuck ton of regrets. That wasn't what these heart's desires are for. They are given to you because they're for you. You get to achieve every single thing that you know is for you. You don't need to worry about the how. The universe has it all figured out. And the more you try to like control the how, the harder it is. You can't control. I keep learning those lessons. You can't control things. The more you just surrender and let go and go with the flow and trust your intuition and your gut and go with like your feminine energy and like tap into yourself or muscle test or whatever you need to do to move forward on that journey, it's just so incredible on the other side. So I encourage you guys to go for your dreams and decide this new identity of who you are, of always living your soul purpose with your intentions in alignment with your heart's desires. And I promise you, you'll get it. It might not be overnight. I haven't gotten some of this stuff overnight. I still desire next level things and I'm always growing and expanding. And sometimes my ego voice or my gremlins get impatient and they're like, blah, 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 and like to say stories. And it's like, I'm in the right place at the right time. Everything's always working out for me. And I don't need to worry about the how or the timing or whatever. Like it's all working for me in my most divine timing for my highest, best good and my optimal health. So I encourage you guys to adopt that mindset into your life. And I'm sending you guys so much love and encouragement, blessings and joy for your journeys and your adventures. And I would love to hear in the comments what one thing you're going to step towards, like what one thing you're feeling called to right now, so you can like say it out loud for you. Like if you don't want to share it with the rest of the world, at least write it down so that you're like, oh, I'm feeling called to do this thing. This is what's like totally on me right now. Like it's a full moon, guys. Like this is a time to like let go of stuff and move forward into this next chapter, this next version of like your optimal life. So decide now for yourself. You can share it with me and I would love to hear. And if you're not feeling called to do it publicly, you can just write it down. But I encourage you to write it down, because when you write it down, you're so much more committed to it. And you give even more power to the universe of like, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. It's decided. It's done. And so it is, however you want to like frame that in your mind. So I encourage you guys to do that. And I'm sending you guys so much love and lots of full moon blessings. I hope you have an awesome night. And Kathy's like loves and hearts. I love you, Kathy. Thank you so much for watching. And we totally need to catch up and see all the awesome stuff that you're doing in your life. So yes, everyone, I'm sending you so much love and I hope you have an incredible night. Bye.